Mujevale, Mujevale, Mujevale. My name is Bani Kibuka, and welcome to another episode of the Ugandan Boy Talk Show. Welcome once again to the Ugandan Boy Talk Show. On today's episode, I've brought my guests, and I'm not going to introduce them. I'm going to let them introduce themselves. So I'm going to start with, you can start. Whoever wants to go first can start. Just introduce yourself, who you are, where you're from, and what you're doing.
Well, definitely I get to go first because I've been here and I'm back again. Hey, everyone. Hey, this is Daniel, and I haven't been here in a long time, but man, I'm just so excited to be back and on the Ugandan Boy Talk Show. Yes.
Yeah.
What up?
I got-
I am called Elyse Ushindi. You can call me Elyse. I'm strictly from Norway, and I'm so glad to be here. I myself am a podcaster, so this will be fun. Let's get started.
Yeah, nice. I'm so excited to have you guys here. Nyanzi, you mentioned you've been on the show before. I have an episode with you, but back then I didn't have the videos, so it's good. I have you now on video. So this is Nyanzi. If you go back and check, I don't even remember what episode it was, but
Man.
you check. He
one
was
of
talking
the
about
few
his
first ones. One of the few first
I think
ones.
it was like the 4th episode or something, season 1. You'll find Nyanzi there. He was talking about his life. Actually, if you want to know more about him and where he's from, that episode, he was talking about his life. So the only person who has not been on the show is Elias. So Elias, what's your life background like?
Well, I don't have a very popular, famous background. I'm a Congolese by nationality, So back in 2009, but I was born and raised in Uganda, so I'm technically Ugandan. If you
I was gonna ask you because earlier before we started the show, you were speaking Luganda like you're born in Uganda. So when you say Congolese, I was like, what the heck?
Yeah. So I get a lot of people confused when I say I'm Congolese, and they're like, "Oh, hell no!" I mean, you speak Luganda like better than some of the Ugandans, you know. But that's just life how it is. So I was born and raised in Uganda, and coming in Norway, it was more like a United Nations protection program, stuff like that. A lot of people didn't get that. So, but that's how I get to be here. Personally, I just grew up with a kind of an easy life. I mean, my dad left when I was 9, and he's not been back since then. He's alive. Sometimes we get to talk, but it's not of a big deal, and I'm kind of cool with that. Got 4 sisters right now. The big bro, which makes me feel like a king. Got 4 princesses to take care of. It's crazy. It's crazy. Sometimes they drive me nuts. Girls. I'm not gonna say anything.
Right.
Our listeners are gonna get pissed, but girls, something else. So I mentioned earlier I have a podcast. I had a dream of having a podcast 4 years back before I even came to Norway. Before I had a dream of being Norway. And when I got here, I was like, if I don't start a podcast just right now, I'm never starting it. I mean, I understand I have a lot of responsibilities. I have a lot of things to do, but maybe this is just my time.
So yeah, it's nice to meet you, Elias, and I'm thankful that you're here with us on the show. I'm definitely gonna check out your podcast, and maybe one time we can co-host or do more stuff together. That would be amazing.
Looking forward to that.
So Nyanzi, a while back I was looking on your Facebook, not stalking you by the way, but you're my friend on Facebook.
Do you do a stalking?
No, I wasn't stalking. I made that clear. I was on.
Are you guys friends on Facebook?
Yeah, we're.
All right, that's not stalking. It's gone.
All right, so I was on Facebook and I saw you posted about 10K for autism. What is that? What is 10K for autism? You want to say something about it?
Yeah, well, first of all, thanks, man, for just an opportunity to be up here and talk about this, because this is something that has been dear to my heart. In the past it's been like 2 months now going, and actually, small world. That's how I got to meet Elias, you know, and many people that are right behind us. So the 10K for Autism is a drive that we're doing and awareness for autism. Like if I say the word autism on a spectrum, like we might get to know what autism is, me and you here, maybe a few people listening. But from Uganda, where you come from, Bonnie, like many people don't really talk about autism. That's where we come from. And we started this 10K for autism just to help communities back in Uganda. You know, COVID hit and everything changed. So apart from that, that has been a bigger push to why we're doing this. But also the fact that in Uganda, autism is not acknowledged as a disability. Even our government doesn't really set out, maybe funds to help autistic kids because it's just not even referred to as a special disability. So even in the communities where we grew up from, there used to be like kids who are like disabled in some, who are autistic in some way, who are struggling with autism. And we use Baba Itanga Manya something like that.
Yeah, like that.
Like,
I don't remember the name.
I don't remember the name, but like we normalize the situation by calling them names, and like we don't give them that extra attention they need because they do need an extra attention. First of all,
sometimes they call them Avalalu. Some like
exactly.
Yeah.
They'd be like, even if like me, I grew up in the Western, you know that, but so like in the Western, like which means
yeah.
I'm trying to put it like in English for people to understand.
No, you can't have an English word for that.
Exactly, it's a lesser way. So these people are denied chances to make it in life, to thrive in life. So we came together to raise awareness and help people know that autism is not a witchcraft, as most African countries try to put it in that tag and say, hey, maybe something went wrong, the ancestral stuff like that. It is not. And that's one thing we're trying to push on to help the community know that autism is a healthy disorder.
Speaking of that, like some parents who have kids autistic in Uganda, they think they're cursed, like it's a curse for them to have a kid like that, and they'll neglect them. And like
exactly,
I'm so happy that you brought that up.
This neglect has actually, pushes kids, has denied them chances to fight, to put a fight in life. We know all of us here, we're fighting to make life mean something, to raise up something. But these kids with that neglect have been denied those chances. And that's one thing that we're coming together to fight and raise awareness. And in raising awareness, actually, why we say 10K for autism, we're trying to raise money to help. And our goal is, we're trying to reach at least 5,000 people. And if everyone in those 5,000 people just gives in 10,000 Ugandan shillings, which is like, we say just $10 US. If in those 10K people, if anyone can give in the $10, and that would help a lot. And the money raised, we identified a couple homes that we want to donate this money for and help infrastructures. We have people on the ground who are actually who visited. We have actually a website. It's called www.10k4autism.org.
We'll put that website in the description, and then I'll make sure I add it on here.
Appreciate it, man. You can check that website, and we have made visits and stuff. So we have healthy workers on the ground who have devoted to even take time and go over there and visit these homes. And there's 100 days that we're putting to run our drive. They will still even go after this because we know it doesn't end here. We need to show these kids that they matter, and that's the whole 10K for autism for. So we're trying to raise awareness about autism, and we're trying to raise funds to help these autistic kids.
Nice. I'm glad that you went in depth to talk about all that the information. And actually, I think we're gonna have to get a little bit deeper in what kids with autism in Uganda, like what they go through. But before we go there, I wanted to hear from Elias, like how are you part of this movement or this 10K for autism?
Well, I don't think I'm just gonna say much than what Nyanzi say, but the thing is, we met a couple of months ago before we even thought of doing something to help the society and the community. And we're all about fun. I mean, young people met around the world. Spaces are here. Thanks to Twitter Spaces, I'm just gonna do that.
Yeah, we actually all
Spaces.
met on Twitter. We all met on Twitter, like just Twitter Spaces. That's crazy.
Exactly. And it was amazing having talks every day, different topics. And I got to meet a few amazing people. Daniel is among them. Don't you ever say that I say you're part of amazing people.
You just say that. They're going to watch this. They're going to know this.
Don't you ever.
They're going to, this is documented.
So there are a lot of amazing people, and just one day someone was like, we need to do something for our people back home. We all understand how much COVID-19 and the quarantines and lockdowns hit everyone. I mean, if you're living abroad, you experience it. So what about someone who is down back home? We understand the situation. It's not pretty cool. So I was there. I mean, I was always attentive. I was always listening in. When I get something to share, I share that. When I don't have anything, I'm really good at listening. I think I prefer myself that. So they were like, all right, we're going to choose you. And I was like, me for what? Like, come on. I haven't been so much important. And they said, well, you're going to get important. So I helped the team with running a few things, like posting on social media every progress, trying to share about autism. I do a little bit of research. I'm good at that. I really think I can dig up anything. Just don't tell the United States that I'm good at digging up things. So I had to be helping with posting a few things, trying to dig things up, share on the internet, both on Twitter and Instagram. And we kind of got people's attention, you know? So it grew to the extent that we had to have something that represents us. And they still got me in church. I don't even know who told them I can do this. Oh, sorry, bad language. Anyway, as I was saying, so I got to be part of something big. My whole life, I've always wanted to be part of something important, something bigger than myself. And when this came in, I felt like there wasn't anything bigger. I mean, I'm young, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of things I can do tomorrow. But in the meantime, I just felt like this is great. I really want to be here, and I'm going to put in as much as I can. And when I looked at everyone else who was part of this, I was just like, yeah, man, they're doing a lot of, this is great. I didn't expect that. I mean, we connect from different corners of the world. I'm in Norway, Nyanzi is in Michigan. A lot of people in different places. We have people on the ground. And that was so amazing. No one took it personal. We were like one person agreeing on one thing. And we were like, all right, let's do this. And I'm just going to say, to be where we are right now, it's really, really lovely seeing what we've achieved so far. We haven't done so much, but we see that we can make it. So we have 100 days running. We just launched that on Monday. 100 days are up for 10K4Autism. And every little bit makes a difference. That's what I believe. So we got 100 days to make this a thing. And I believe we're going to put smiles on the cute faces of all the kids, you know?
Right. Now, you guys talking about that is something that is on my heart. Like Nyanzi knows, even the episodes we've done before, like it's basically about helping the community, helping people back home, like whatever we can do to help people back home. And it just brings excitement to hear you guys talk about that. And to explain that better is like, when I saw it on Nyanzi's page, I immediately texted him. I said, dude, what's this about? Like, hey, we're going to talk about this. Like, I want you to come and let's talk about that. And I started my podcast is just to create awareness, like to make stories. Like I said, just telling stories. And that's why I hosted Nyanzi to come and tell his childhood story, what he went through. Because like, I wanted people to know like where we come from, what we've been. And like having you guys here and talking about those this 10K for autism, it's big, and like you said, and I want everybody who is listening to look it up. We're gonna put the website in there, but to just give it a deep
I know we're going to put the website. Like, you guys can go ahead and like, I know we're going to like dive deeper, but like, I know just going on what you just said, like, I remember when you reached out, like, hey, we need to do something. I know your podcast is all about like, helping the community. Well, what can we even add? What can we add? What can we even add on that? on the community with whatever we use, and I just remember recently when we met all the Twitter spaces and stuff with guys, we call ourselves actually the Red Dot Family, and which is kind of like a weird name to call, but a funny name. And but one of the things that pushed us to do more is we were hanging out and someone came like around Eid, the period, and we fed 100 plus families on Eid day, just people who met on Twitter on just internet. I don't know these people in person, but random place to meet. So we actually raised some money. We raised around like 5+ million to feed like these families and on Eid day, which was really good. But my point is, with whatever is happening in the world right now, with everyone just being selfish and everyone just being, in their own space and saying, hey, this is mine and this is what I can hold in. We really trying to challenge people. What can you do with what God has entrusted you with? What can you do with, however resources you have that God has given you? And it could be as little as 10K. It could be as little as, that's what we're trying to show the world. Also with the sensitization and awareness and raise it, because we know, Bonnie, I know what you're passionate about, I know. And like that's using what God has given you, opportunities God has given you to like even help and, do what you do. This platform here to sensitize people and connect people and build bridges, and even what is going on back home, with your family and whatever. That's using God's resources. So our mindset, and when we came together, all these guys from different corners, from German, wherever, people in Uganda, when we came together, we're like, hey, instead of just coming up here and just kubechivozi for nada, let's try to do something beneficial, and that's just even using. So that's why we're actually calling upon you guys to just think about what you can do even in your community. Just that change doesn't start from out; it starts from where you are.
Yeah. Now, to just go about the autism, does any one of you have somebody they know or a sibling that has autism?
No, I didn't know. Personally, I think I knew a few kids growing up, but I didn't understand what was going on. And just like Nyanzi said in the beginning, our societies have put these kids in a certain bracket, which is so wrong. They don't reach out to them. They don't try to put them and try and make sure that they fit in the society, but they put them somewhere. And so if you met me back then and you're like, oh, this kid is autistic, I wouldn't understand what the hell that was. And I'll probably just like, nah, I'll take it. We'll see what to do with them, But right now, I feel like, no, we don't need to put them somewhere, because the more we put them there, the more they get messed up. So we need them here. We need to make sure they're part of us. We need to show them that they matter too.
Right.
And I have no one who, I have no one in my family. We don't have a history of autism. And I just feel like I don't need that history to be helpful and help a kid out there.
That's the same way. I'm just like you, and I'm just gonna echo what you just said. I don't have anybody in my family that's autistic, but I know a guy right now who is helping the kids who are autistic. And I'm just what you say. Like when I was younger, back in Uganda, if I met a kid like saliva was just coming out of him or anything, I would just be like, "Get out of here!" Like just because we didn't know. But now, get out too late. Like that's why he's just saying like get dirty. But like now, looking at that and like learning and having visited America to see like they even kids who are autistic in America that have been successful. Like those kids are not dumb. Like they are smart.
No,
they're smart and they can, but it's just like in Uganda, they're just unfortunate. Like even the parents themselves, they need to be educated that you're not cursed because you have a kid that's autistic. I don't know what Nyanzi you think about that.
No, I just love the way you brought it up, that even parents have to actually be, educated and told that you're not cursed. This is just a disorder. It's a healthy disorder. It's not anything related to witchcraft, not related to these black magic, whatever. And there is a saying that says autism is not a disability, it's just a different ability. Like these kids, some of these kids are the smartest kids that you ever know. Like these kids, like you just don't know. Like like there's also like different types of autism. Like I'm actually learning all this stuff because I also in my family don't have anyone who's actually I used to have an uncle who was autistic, but I didn't know until and he passed away, rest in peace. but he was autistic, and I didn't know that until just wrong right now, you know. And I could be amazed by what Uncle John could do. Like that dude could do different stuff, which we can do. Like it's it's something that we have to think about as a different ability, which is not a disability. And like people who are autistic, let's say, Dan, I'm autistic. Autistic is not my identity. Like Dan is my identity, and I'm struggling with autistic. That's one thing we're trying to help people realize, even the parents that have kids who are autistic, for them to understand that this is not a witchcraft. This is not what we want to tell them. Your kid is struggling with autism. Your kid is not autistic. He's not autism. He himself is not autism.
Yeah.
But so he's not cast. You're not cast. This is something that is medical, and we've been, honestly, one thing that I've learned throughout this, getting together and trying to learn about autism and trying to set up this drive, it's more of things that it's just the other parts that I've come learning about autism, the science, how to help someone, and all those things. And it's just amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, like, what are some of the signs you could see to notice like somebody has autism?
Are you gonna answer that?
Yeah,
I can take it out. I can take it.
All right, sure.
Like, you got it, man. You got
it. Let Elias say that, because he's been quiet.
Yeah, he was quiet.
Yeah, take that.
All right. So, to what I've learned so far is autistic kids have different kind of behaviors they develop, because it's more like a neuro disorder, So I don't know. Neurologists and psychologists are gonna understand that better. I'm an amateur. So autistic kids have they develop different kind of behaviors whereby they're affected with a lot of things a normal person will see as not a problem. For example, there are kids who can be affected by a lot of noise. There are kids who cannot contribute well to low voices or something like that, but they want something loud. And then there are kids who want something really low. And then they have a set of behavior whereby they don't want to be a part of the society. They just want to be kind of alone. And you might think this is a behavior for people with stress, with anxiety and stuff. But to find the kind of behavior key, you just definitely have to know there's a problem. And you need to, reach out to someone who understands something better, and they might lead you to something, good for a kid and see how they progress. So a kid who has problem with communication, interaction with other kids, or fear of being into society, they definitely need help immediately as soon as anyone notices something like that. If they react to situations that a normal person would look at and be like, well, that's normal, but this kid reacts really in a different way, you have to reach out to them. And don't look at one sign. There's always had to be a couple of signs, at least 2/3 of the signs, to make sure that this kid needs some special help. So let's not confuse it with just one sign and you're like, oh, my kid is autistic. No. even for a normal person, there are things you don't interact with. So don't put your kid into a psychiatrist hospital for just one sign. At least 2 thoughts.
Yeah, that's
No, I was just gonna say, they tend to have like a repetitive behavior, as Elias was explaining. You'll find they have that habit they keep doing over and over. It might just be rocking, and this kid will rock for like a normal person. You won't rock for like 30 minutes, the same motion. Like these kids will do that. It might even be just repetitive noise and stuff. One thing that I just found out is that these autistic kids, or the autistic person, their feelings or their senses are 100 times more than your senses. So if Bonnie, I can come and I touch you and you feel that, they're going to feel that 100 times more. So like their reaction goes into that. So yeah, it is. That's one fun fact that I just learned during this time. Like
it's really like sad for me to even imagine it right now. Like after we got all this knowledge, like thinking about it, like can you imagine a kid who is autistic in Uganda with COVID? Poor family. Like even the family struggles without COVID. Now think about with COVID, and that's why I really, when I think about it, I'm like, and Nyanzi, you mentioned earlier when you say we all know like the government doesn't have anything planned for these kids in Uganda, and like they don't really have anything. So, and I love the calls that you guys are putting up to help all the people. Now, what's the plan for helping these people in Uganda? Like how, if we get the
So
funds or if we get people donate, what's the plan?
So the plan that is there right now, I mean, we identified two homes, and one of them is actually a school, but one of them is a home. This person opened up a home and is taking care of those kids. And the funny fact, we already said the government doesn't, designate funds, but hospitals, when they have these kids left over, abandoned at the hospital, where are they going to run to? To this home, poor home. And
And they
this
send
home is
them to
actually called
Butabika.
we man, I know.
Tabika
So
is
we
killing
visited
people. We don't want any kids there.
killing people.
Yeah.
We don't want them there. So we found out one of them is Donna, Donna Center, which is a home, which is actually a school, and then Noah's Ark. So this school, these kids come in there because these kids don't learn on the same pace we learn. So the school helps them train them on their pace, and then the Noah's Ark, which is a home where they stay, be taken care of and all that stuff. So that's our main focus. But we're also helping Donna like get some basic needs they need. So the plan is once we have all these people, if we can reach 5,000 or plus people and raise funds, if everyone can give in $10, this we have a GoFundMe page and we have all things lined up, all the information. We will, after the whole drive, when people give in, we'll have accountability to the public because this is
Right.
a public cause. So this money is just going to be used to provide some basic health care, and we're helping this home acquire this land because they were renting and stuff. So we're helping them acquire this place so they can or have a place without paying rent and stuff like that, so they can own it. So there is no rent can be expensive. So we're trying to help them acquire that, and then we're going to provide some basic stuff. We're going to get them some mattresses. We have some of our healthcare workers. We're trying to see how we can get some pads for the females. The feminine products that they can use. With someone who's even autistic, like they don't know how to take care of themselves when it comes to that, right? Like they'll be hanging out, and then they will take it all out and stuff like that. So they will need more supplies. So with these funds, we're trying to take care of the girl child by providing the feminine products and stuff like that to help them be clean and be okay. And then we're trying to provide meals also with these funds, and then we're helping with some infrastructures. And then for the school, we're also trying to help provide. We're actually going to do a meal for them sometime soon. We're going to go over there, do a meal day, play day, just show them love. Because in most cases, these kids need love. So with our team that is on the ground, we want them to go there, hang out with these kids, show them that they care, be with them, provide a meal, serve them. So we're trying to serve these kids and also to say thank you to the people who are investing time, even without no pay or any benefit from the government or anything like that. So the whole plan of raising this money is to first take care of these key things, the shelter, helping with the infrastructure, catching up on the bills that happened during this COVID time for this Noah's Ark. They've had so many bills. They don't have any donors. So when COVID hit, they had a donor. When COVID hit, the donor just left. So we're trying to fill that gap and then set them up for success. So, set them up for something. And if all of you guys come, if anyone just joins a hand, and it's going to be massive. It's going to be something that we're laying a foundation for the future. And we're also setting an example on how we're supposed to live in a community with people. I'm a Christian. I'm a strong Christian. I'm a Christian. So one thing I believe, God called us into this community is to serve and live in a community. But how can we live in a community? Is by being the hands and feet of Jesus.
Nice.
Or even, it doesn't matter who it is. Like that's what we did. We reached out to the Muslims and showed them love because we're all one. And now we're reaching out to these kids. So all the funds, as you said, as you asked me, they will be going direct to the cause. They'll be taking care of those things, and everything is going to be posted on our website. And so like we know it's a public cause. We want the public to feel involved, and we want you to own this. We want you out there who is listening, who is watching, to own this. If you're being part of us, we want you to own it, to feel like, hey, at least I showed that kid right there in that picture that kid matters.
Yeah, that's really good, and I like that you elaborated more for somebody who is interested in donating the money. That there's accountability for this money. You'll be able to see what your money has done, and I just love it that you guys put your heart out to care for these people. And I'm ready to jump in on with you guys and just do whatever I can. And this is my first step, is just putting it out there for
Let's
people to
go.
know and people to see. So, and one thing I just remembered while you were sharing is I hosted my dad on my podcast one time, and my dad is a pastor, and he was talking about the problems that girls go through in Uganda. My dad has a girls' home, Nyanzi, you know this.
Yeah,
And one time,
actually that was a good podcast. Actually, I listened
he,
to it.
yeah, one time he, no, that when I hosted him, he told a story about a girl though was autistic that got raped. You
Yeah,
know, like because there are
yeah,
ruthless men back home, like not even back home, but anywhere, like because somebody who is autistic, like some people, if they're unconscious or they don't know properly what's going on, they're taken advantage of, and like this is something that will save a lot of lives. Like imagine getting all those kids off the streets and saving them, because she got pregnant, she gave birth to a baby, and she couldn't take care of the baby, and the baby was just there on the street. So that's how my dad went and picked one of it and brought it. So when you were talking, I thought about the incidents, and this is really going to be helpful to help and save lives. Elias, you got anything you want to add on to that?
I just can't believe we're missing the part where Nyanzi almost became a pastor here.
hey,
Like,
hey,
yo, that moment
Elias.
happened. I
Yeah.
can't just leave it go.
Man, I'm passionate about this. Like I can talk about this all day. I mean, it's
You
literally
became a
I can
pastor.
preach. You know that
You
I
turned
can preach
pastor
it.
to the accent Bonnie had to bring out his father's memories. Great job. That was a great one.
I saw you shaking your head. I was like, I think he's
He was like, "Yeah,
something
preach
like
it,
that.
preach it,
Yo,
preach
I was
it."
I was listening in, and I'm so in. I'm so down. I love everything we're about to do, and I really look forward for everything to happen the way we expect it. And then Nyanzi somehow brings in a line that normally Christians do. I don't know what religion he is. I have no problem with religious people.
Right.
And then he just throws in a line. I'm like, wait, what? That's a pastor who just came into Nyanzi. Praise the Lord. I don't know.
You're lucky he didn't quote the Bible.
Oh man,
Right here.
it's really something great we're trying to do. Like I said, I love being part of great things. I'm really small. I love being part of great things. Maybe I'll just put out something out there for our listeners tonight. These kids really need us, and if we have them into our societies, we gotta step up. If you're a normal person, you're not 100%. It doesn't matter how normal you think you were. We're never 100%. There's always something wrong with you. So reach out for someone who's less. I don't know. If you're 80%, reach out for someone who's 40%. They need you. You have a lot you can help them with. And to autistic kids, they really need a lot of attention. You need to be consistent. You need to keep up with the schedule of helping them thrive. You need to build a place where they feel like they're home, they're loved, and this is one of the things we're trying to do. When I heard of the story of one of the houses that was out of fence and pretty much almost getting thrown up of the place, I was hurt, because I remember what it feels like being thrown out of the place you've been living, being thrown out of your home. It sucks. It doesn't feel well. All right. You're just gonna forgive me for my language.
Don't cry.
But hey,
Don't cry. Don't cry.
No, I'm not crying. I'm the
Okay.
Lord. So when I heard it, brother, I was like, all right, if we don't do anything right now, it's gonna be a lot of mess to catch your breath. It's gonna be more than just being hit by a lockdown or a COVID-19. So we had to step up, and hopefully, Muslims say, inshallah, we're getting there. Yeah. But we're not getting there alone. We really need help from anyone who's willing, from anyone who's listening in, from anyone who's gonna watch this. We really need everyone who can step up. $10, maybe. $10. You can skip, for Christ's sake, you've been eating McDonald's your whole life. We can skip
It's just
McDonald's
$10.
tonight.
But
we can skip it for tonight.
Elias, I like the line you just say, if you're 80, help somebody who is a 40. And that's literally the motto of my podcast is like, we rise by lifting each other up. Like
Definitely.
if you're somewhere, just pull up somebody else. And that just touched me. And like, you just described it. Like, can you imagine? I've been telling Nyanzi, like, where we come from, like your background, like 15 years ago, like life was really hard. Like you can even sleep with an empty stomach, but we're here and we're ready to help somebody else.
I don't know what you trying to do. Did you really have to remind me of sleeping with an empty stomach? I don't know what you're trying to do right now. All right, you can go on. I'll talk to you later for that.
But yeah, I like the quote that I saw on your guys' Facebook. The autism is like a rainbow. It has a bright side and a dark side, but every shade is important and beautiful. By Rosie Tennant Daron.
Although a rainbow is always having bright sides. I don't know who made that quote.
I don't know who made that.
I'm just kidding. Rosie. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No, it has a dark side.
It has a dark side. It has a dark side too.
Yeah.
Don't set up another podcast here. We're gonna start arguing about a rainbow.
We're going to start talking about the rainbow. But yeah, every part of it matters.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I say nobody's 100% because we all have the dark side. We have the bright side. We have the side that is good, and that's just the same thing with these kids. So somebody gotta step up.
Hey, I'm here laughing, but this is what just came back in my mind. Hey, but remember back in election time when they're like buli muntu agumye munne
buli muntu agumye munne abaana bo bakwateko yeah when Nyanzi was talking and he was trying to interchange languages, I almost said gumana gwezikiza boda tuli mukogera luzungu.
I don't think, is anyone riding a bike right now?
It was just a line I was just gonna use because But anyway, I appreciate you guys being here, and I'll definitely bring you back. But before I close this out, so you said 100 days starting Monday, right?
Yep, starting Monday.
So we need the funds between these 100 days to just keep going in and through the 100 days, and that's why you named it the 10K or because
we named it.
No,
you're taking this. You're taking this.
Well, we named it 10K for autism because we're trying to we just trickled it down to like 10K or $10. I know, like when I said I might not, but like let's say $10. Come on, you can't fail in 100 days to raise $10. So if this message is reaching out to 5,000 people, and in these 100 days, everyone can raise $10. We're just asking $10. You can give more. Like we know we have Bonnie here, who's going to even give more for sure. But hey,
why are you excluding yourself?
Hey, but the point why we called it 10K is just in a small, when we break it down, everyone can afford $10 in 100 days. So we're calling for the masses to just save $10 for us, for these kids. And that's why we named it 10K for autism. But we put it to run for 100 days to give us that room to just be able to raise that money. Like a person like me who can only raise 50 cents a day, in 100 days, I'll have $10. No, I'm just breaking it down. Breaking it down for everyone.
I thought you were saying about yourself. I was going to say.
I don't know what you're trying to do.
We're not doing that here.
Don't give me that look. But anyway, just breaking it down. So yeah, that's why we call it 10K for autism. And actually, you guys, if you're posting something or anything, we're just asking you, you can even please use a hashtag 10K for autism. Just to raise awareness. Just use that hashtag. Like if you're posting something about autism, or even just please use the hashtag. In these 100 days, it's going to help us reach out to more people, and people will realize what we're trying to do, and they'll be helping. You might not be financially well, but if you tell someone will be able to step in that gap. So we're calling you not only because of your finances. We're calling you guys to just join hands with us and spread the word. because awareness is not all about money. Awareness is to also let people know that autism is just a disorder, it's a disease. People are just struggling with autism. They are not, that's not their identity, being autistic.
Nice. Now the final question goes to Elias before we leave this episode. Every time I host somebody on my podcast, I have a signature question.
Bring it on, bring it on.
So, what gets you excited about life?
Oh boy, that is creepy. I expected something more or less compared to. All right. What excites me about life is how people can connect during different circumstances. They get to know each other like they've known each other for a while, and that's not the case. So why I'm saying this is because 3 months ago, I was moving around. I joined a space on Twitter, and 3 months later, I've made friends. We connected into something, and we're doing something great. And this is not happening just for the first time in my life. Growing up, like I said, I love being part of great things, big things than me. I'm very small, but I really love being big in my own way. I don't know how I do that. So I have always interacted with a lot of different people, and we get to do something great. So I feel like it's something amazing how human beings, I mean, there's a lot of conflict between human species, more conflict than even the animal kingdom has. But if we can still find it inside us and sit down at the same table, no matter where you're from, no matter your color, and we talk about something that can help not just me or him or her, but a lot of people, baby, if that's not exciting, I don't know what else it is.
Boom! you just hit it right on the head. And that's the reason why I came up with
a mic drop.
Yeah.
That was a mic drop right
drop.
there. Boom.
That's the whole point why I came up with a question. Every time I ask somebody, I ask my dad, it's like, that's a tricky question. Like, how did you come up with that? But he helps me like to listen to what people have to say about it. And you just nailed it, man. What you just said right there is makes me excited. Like, I don't think what else would make me excited just having brothers, whether it doesn't matter your color, your religion, anything, just being me together. And like today I met somebody from Norway. Like I didn't know I was gonna meet somebody. Nyanzi didn't even tell me till I think earlier today, but that excites me. So now I have a friend in Norway, and very excited, thankful for you to be here. And if time works out well, we're gonna have an episode with you. I just want to get to know you and your podcast, and then we can just
you're bringing me on the podcast. It's really great. It will be a pleasure and honor, although mostly for you because, baby, I'm a lord. So,
I expected that to count. I expected that to count.
No, I'm a lord. Hey, it's not
this
secret.
dude here is a lord right here.
So, it would be an honor having you on the same platform talking about something, and yeah, let's look forward to that. It's the world of social media, baby.
Nice. Yeah. Guys,
that's what's up.
Is there anything else I've not asked you about that you want to say before we close this out?
I'm pretty sure if there's nothing, I'm definitely gonna come back. So you better find it in your head.
Yes, sir.
But
gotta get it. You gotta get it.
Yeah. Maybe I can just put this out there. Like I said before, we need everyone who can step up and help us push this. And like Nyanzi said, we have a hashtag 10K for autism. When you're writing 4, just put the number 4, the digit 4. I don't know how you call it, but I don't know why this word keeps making things complicated. Fine, the number 4. Use the hashtag 10K for autism and just make someone out there see it. Perhaps they can follow her. Perhaps they can give us $5. Perhaps we can skip McDonald's, KFC for one day and get us the $10. And believe me, every little bit makes a difference.
Thank you very much. And for the last time, I'm gonna sign out, and I want to appreciate everyone for sacrificing your time to be here and talk about something that's helping somebody else somewhere and giving in your life and commitment. So thank you very much and stay blessed. Hey there, I am Bonnie Kibuka, the host of the Ugandan Boy Talk Show. Thanks for watching my video, and don't forget to hit subscribe and share with a friend. Tune in every Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time for a new episode about my podcast. And for more information about this podcast, follow me on my Instagram page, talk_show_256.